guys, Omar Mason here. I'm responding to some of the questions that have been going on about the D-Mags. And I really want to take this time to tell you what they are, what they aren't, what to expect, the reason why certain things are happening, and features and design and so forth for the magazine. First off, let's start with First Strike and the MKP system. Cameraman, if you come in here for a second, I can show exactly what's going on here. All right, the bolt. The bolt is not prepared to do First Strike. Number one, we have the first bolt right here. This is a stock Tippmann bolt. As you can see, it does not have a taper in the front. So that will do, as explained in various videos, it will flip around, break the fins, or cause all kinds of havoc. Okay? If we look all the way to the third over here, this is a Tiberius T4 bolt. If you can see that ramp in the very tip of it, that's precisely designed for the First Strike capability. Again, this is the first series of markers to use a First Strike. They are the producers of the First Strike. Therefore, they are well aware of what needs to be done with the bolt. In the middle here, we have a bolt that's been modified by us with our we put it in a lathe and machined it down to size. This is what's needed for the Phenom or the MKP2 or MKP1 to fire First Strikes properly. Without this, it's going to hit or miss. I mean, sometimes they make it work great, sometimes they won't. Okay? Yes, we're looking into manufacturers making something like this. Perhaps some manufacturer will jump on board and make this. But this is what's needed. If you want to shoot First Strikes right now, take your bolt to a local machine shop, promote local business, and have them machine that for you. Alright, alright. Now we're back up here. MKP2. This is the magazine kit for the Phenom. All right. There's been a couple questions about how hard it is to smack it in and all these things. Or not even questions. I'm going as far as to say is not knowing what's going on. This is not a 268 magazine. It does not work in the same way. You can't just put it in and that's it. It's not going to seat that way. This thing right here has a return mechanism. We're going to get into that, how that works. There's a return mechanism inside here that gives you some pressure as you're putting it in. So what you do, you partially put it in, just like this, smack it in place. This thing is now seated in there. That's all it takes. Okay? It's a little bit of a smack, if you want to call it, but this is actually very normal in firearms. You want to make sure your magazine is seated. There's pressure. When you're putting live ammunition in the magazine, there's pressure pushing against the magazine, which is why you're able to eject the magazines out as well, okay? 7.62 by 51 NATO cartridge. This is a 308 rifle, okay? When fully loaded, again, we're putting a dummy round because we are in a warehouse with people and this is live ammo, so we want to be safe. When putting this in, you got to smack that thing in there. You now can chamber the round you gotta have a positive smack in there. Now, if you don't like that, you can disactivate or deactivate a feature in the magazine to have it go in much easier. Again, it's a feature you're getting rid of, and let me tell you what that feature is. Right now, when the follower comes up and it comes back in, the paddle automatically goes back into place, okay? That's a return spring that closes the shutter doors immediately after they're not being used. So for example, when you fire one side first and you insert it back into the opposite side, as you insert it, this just goes right back in, paddle shuts again. You can see that. Okay? As you insert it back in, paddle closes right back up. If you remove that feature, what will happen is that your followers will not come back up. Okay? Why? Because the paddle now is not returning on its own. So what you'll have to do is you go through your both sides, reload, reset. So you manually reset the paddles and put it in there. If you do that, let's go ahead and take a look again at our loading procedure. There we go. That's it. That's all it takes. You don't have to smack it in there. You just give it a little firm press and it latches on. Okay? Again, by doing this, you're getting rid of a feature. So, it's up to you. Now, I will tell you, these bottom caps, remove it carefully, okay? We will not replace it if you break it. So these are assembled. The feature that we put in there is there for a reason. We'll again show you what it's this counterpart in an actual firearm. So if you break this while removing it, it costs $1. Buy another one. All right. You put it in, give it a little side twist. You see how much it goes up? I'm not prying it. There's nothing too difficult about it. That's it. Okay? You remove both sides. Take the cap out. You have 2 springs right there. Get that one, remove it. Get that one, remove it. You now have a magazine that takes very little pressure to put back in. But again, you're going against the design of the magazine. Okay? That's all it takes. Thank you very much. Hope this clears up some of the questions that are out there. Have a good one.